The fear is coming. The fear is really coming. So yeah, you might have fear that's going to be available anytime. And this is what happens when I'm hearing. So let's listen to the part of the clip of the news.
Over the next few weeks and as soon as tomorrow, the Supreme Court is expected to decide whether babies born on American soil are truly entitled to American citizenship under the Constitution. That's the way it's been for more than a century. But President Trump has tried to end birthright citizenship by executive order. And now tens of thousands of young parents across the country are on edge, waiting for that ruling from the court, fearful of what it means for their children if Trump is allowed to end birthright citizenship for good. Here's Devin Wire.
My baby deserves the citizenship. He shouldn't be stateless.
9 months ago, this baby boy was born in on American soil. But today, his mom fears that U.S. citizenship could be taken away.
Everything is changing, the politics is changing, and we don't know what will be.
Lily is an asylum seeker from Ukraine. Fled her home in 2022 as Russian bombs pummeled residential neighborhoods. The U.S. government welcomed her and hundreds of thousands of other Ukrainians to temporarily live and work in the States as the war raged.
1 centimeter.
When she was 4 months pregnant, Lily learned President Trump had signed an executive order that would deny American citizenship to babies born to non-citizens like her. Birthright. That's a big one. Courts put Trump's order on hold just before Lily's son was born.
He should belong to this country because he was born under American flag, under U.S. Constitution. If he wants, he will serve to this country as well.
With her asylum application still pending, we've agreed to protect Lily's identity over concerns she could be targeted by the Trump administration for speaking out. If the Supreme Court allows Trump to redefine who's eligible for citizenship at birth, Lily fears her son and the children of millions of immigrants in the U.S. could be rendered stateless through no fault of their own.
If a child is stateless, that means that they wouldn't have access to any identification.
Conchita Cruz leads one of the groups suing the government to block Trump's order.
We've heard from so many asylum seekers who are so scared that even though they have legal status here in the United States, that their child would be born undocumented, that they're at risk of their child being deported, that their child could be separated from them.
The Trump administration says only babies born after the order takes effect will be impacted, insisting children of unlawful immigrants and temporary visitors like Lily have no formal allegiance to the U.S. and therefore shouldn't qualify for citizenship.
The question is, if they give birth to someone in the United States, that person naturally a citizen, that would turn, based on the original public meaning of the clause, on the lawfulness of their presence. Are they domiciled?
The meaning of the word domiciled is at the heart of the constitutional dispute. Critics say drafters of the 14th Amendment, which established birthright citizenship, only intended it for children whose parents permanently reside or are domiciled in the U.S. A majority of justices during arguments in April suggested that figuring out domicile for parents of more than 3.6 million babies born in the U.S. every year could be a very tall task.
How are we going to determine domicile? And do we have to do this for every single person?
So we bringing pregnant women in for depositions? What if you don't know who the parents are?
The guidance provides, I think, very, very clear, objective, verifiable approaches to doing this.
The question of birthright citizenship was answered by the Supreme Court more than 125 years ago in the landmark case of Wong Kim Ark, a baby born to Chinese nationals in California, who the court ruled was automatically American under the 14th Amendment.
This is Wong Kim Ark.
Wong's great-grandson Norman says he fears the dismantling of his family's legacy.
I couldn't imagine we would be in this situation that when we were children, understanding you're born here, you're American. It was that simple.
Researchers estimate Asian and Latino babies would be most impacted by a decision overturning Wong Kim Ark and allowing Trump to end birthright citizenship. More than 90% of babies born on U.S. soil without citizenship or legal status by 2050 would be Latino. For American-born children of undocumented immigrants like 4-year-old Denise, there is also a worry that U.S. citizenship could be rescinded.
I can't sleep peacefully, so I'm worried about this whole situation.
Viviana is an undocumented mother of 3 from Ecuador who's lived and worked in the shadows in the U.S. for 4 years.
Are you afraid that the government might take your daughter's citizenship away?
Claro que sí.
Of course I am. I'm very afraid. Not only my daughter, there are many children who would lose their privileges that they have, such as medical insurance, also to attend school normally.
What's your dream for her? What is your dream for her in this country?
¿Qué quiere ser?
She always tells me that she wants to be a doctor. I mean, I aspire to see her realize the goal that she has.
She doesn't know any other country as her home.
Ella conoce su país, Estados Unidos.
She knows her country, the United States.
U.S. birth certificates, the gold standard of proving American citizenship for generations, would no longer be sufficient for anyone, including older Americans, to apply for Social Security benefits, a passport, and even a home mortgage. That change, experts say, could hit vulnerable children especially hard.
It delays all kinds of services. Let's say a mom is on Medicaid and is getting health care through prenatal care all the way through. At birth, the kid has no citizenship. You have to prove citizenship. So there's a delay, 6 months, 9 months.
So a child might not be able to get nutrition assistance, healthcare assistance, education assistance at a very young age, unless and until the parent can prove it.
That's exactly right.
For President Trump, who attended the Supreme Court's oral arguments in the case, the first sitting president to ever do so, birthright citizenship is ripping off taxpayers. Posting to social media, it was not meant for people taking vacations to become permanent citizens of the United States of America and bringing their families with them, all the time laughing at the suckers that we are.
What goes through your mind when you hear some of those criticisms?
I want to be a mother. My baby didn't change a country, and he shouldn't be guilty for it that he was born in the United States.
A fiercely protective mother watching the Supreme Court closely as her family's future in America hangs in the balance.
I want that my child to be happy in his life and to have a good job, to have a great life. I hope he will get it.
And do it here.
Yeah, and do it here, of course.
Train.
Fear we are about to have. Extremely fear we're about to have. Did Dulce... Well, did Jocelyn Rojo Carranza survive that? After she was bullied in Texas racially? After she took her own life? After she was so feared that those bullies tried to call ICE on against her parents so they could be deported. Did she survive that? Is that okay to eliminate the 14th Amendment? Is that okay that they could eliminate me? And eliminate all of us? Including blacks? This is about all white supremacy. An extreme terrorist we have in America. The KKK demons around us. Say this is how when they don't follow God's order. You may know. Satan is Christian, a Hebrew, but disobeyed God's order. He disobeyed him. Michael, if you know, Miguel or Michael, that's the same name. Michael tossed him down to hell to make him face judgment when Jesus comes. I'm American, and I do love America. I do love America because I belong here where I was born. This is my birthright after being born here in this country. And now Trump is trying to make me become an undocumented immigrant just because I'm not American. Well, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I misspoke if you know what I mean. Because I am American. And I might be unlawfully deported, illegally deported away. So you see, this is how when we see, this is all because of you people who voted Trump back at the White House for stupid reason just because he wanted to change America. This is how we see the history of segregation before Martin Luther King stood up against racism. Ruby Bridges, attended to the school public where she can go to have an integration. Liam Conejo Ramos was detained in Minnesota where he was attending to school. Same way like what happened to Ruby Bridges. My uncle was the first black president of the United States. He was a great president. He's been supportive. He is a hero of America. And including to what happened to my auntie, former Vice President Kamala Harris. She said the same thing to my dad before he was elected. Before he chose her to become a running mate for vice president as a first woman and first person of color to be vice president. Remember what that Democratic debate back in 2019 before 2020? My auntie said that she doesn't believe my dad isn't racist. And what happened? She told the story, told her story about her past, what happened when she was in the school grade, about what is happening to the policies of school busing. Same thing what happened to Ruby Bridges. So you see, the KKK violates us. It's all thanks to you people for voting him back at the White House after he was a convicted felon. After he slept with that adult film star Stormy Daniels, cheated on his wife, Melania. So I hope you be proud of yourself after you're white. So have a white terrorist evening, everyone.